Well, this is different. Hey Slugs, how's it going? Today we're taking a look at Fabuland. Recently in one of my videos, I recreated the Fabuland theme song, and I wanted to talk about it because it's a cool piece of music. So I brought out the keyboard and set up the camera. We're trying something new. Hopefully you enjoy it. Here we go. So the Fabuland music was something incorporated into the 1979 TV show Edward and Friends. Actually, you know what? I don't even know if it came out in 1979. Early 80s, let's say. Anyways, the music was written by Mike Batt. Mike Batt. And I don't know much about this guy. Maybe he was a television composer or whatever. But this piece of music here, this Fabuland theme song, is really charming. And I had to go through multiple steps to recreate it here. It's a pretty simple song once you get down to it, but it's got some interesting elements that cause it to be a little bit more tricky than it lets on at first. So where I started was with actually trying to establish the key of the song. I took a guess just by listening to it. It sounded like it was an F sharp major. It's not actually an F sharp major, it's in G major, so my ear was slightly off there. But, so once I had the key there, I realized, okay, so G major, that's my 1 chord. It's probably, it's gonna go to 4, probably gonna go to 5, right? So if G's my 1, C major is my 4 chord, back to 1, and then it goes to the 5 chord, D major. This is all based on the G major scale. So that's G major scale right there. It's telling me I'm using all white keys except for F sharp. So I gotta watch for those F sharps. So we call those notes that fall into a key, we call them the diatonic notes. They belong to that scale. So that's where I start with. Once I know what my 1 chord is, I've basically eliminated half the wrong notes, because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right notes, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wrong notes. I know the melody isn't going to use those 5 more likely than not. So out of the 12 notes I have available, 7 of them I already have established are the right ones that I want to focus on. So once I have that, I know that, okay, there's my 1 chord. I try to figure out the melody further. Da 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 da, something like that, right? And you can kind of trace it that way. It's starting on so, do, like that 5-1. Da 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 da. Big major arpeggio there. Nothing too crazy going on with the melody to start with here. However, it gets interesting. It goes into a part of the melody where a note jumps in from those 5 I talked about earlier, the non-diatonic notes. It pulls from one of those. So after we do 1 repetition, right, diatonic so far. Here comes. So that's fancy, that's fancy. That is a flat 6 right there. So instead of playing E like it did the first time, that's what it sounded like the first time. I hit that E, but this time around it's E flat. Yeah, lovely. And then a big 1-5-1 at the end there. So that's all really cool. I was basically able to kind of feel my way through that part of the melody as much as possible before I sat down and got serious about it. So then the first thing I did in recreating the song was to start with the bass line. So in the original, we have an upright bass, this kind of thumping, boom, boom, boom. But with all recordings that use upright bass, it's really tough often to get the exact pitches. So I used my chord knowledge. I knew that, okay, it's starting on the 1 chord, so it's probably starting on a G, right? The first note of the bass is gonna be G, right, like that. I used that knowledge to help kind of fill in the blanks as I went. So, bum, 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 ba-da-da-da-da, and then we go into the next section there. That took a long time. It's just those little notes. I probably spent an hour trying to figure out that stuff. The way I went about doing that is I basically turned on the song and then put it through one of my speakers, turned down the treble and cranked up the bass, and then just played it back at 50% speed, trying to hear, okay, what are the exact pitches? I think I got close with most of them, but I don't think it's exact 100% of the way. It's pretty good though. I think it's in the ballpark. So I got the bass part figured out. I kind of had to figure out what to do with the drums. I just kind of had this kick, hi-hat, kick, hi-hat, kick, hi-hat sort of thing going back and forth to lay the groundwork. And then I started piling on the other instruments. In the original recording, you can definitely hear a big vocal pad, like a sort of fake do 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 do. And I knew that had to be an essential component of the song. But what was interesting to me upon actually sitting down and trying to tackle it was that isn't playing the melody. It's actually a lower harmony. The accordion sound, the that thing, that's actually playing the melody. So it's the accordion thing playing the melody. And below that, there's a harmony. Yeah, that's it. Because the other thing that struck me as odd was that the lower harmony ends on the 7 of this D7. It's something I wanted to do. Like, as I was kind of figuring out the harmony, I was like, oh, I want to make it go here, but I went back to the original and listened to it just to make sure that it actually does go there. And it does, which really excited me. So you had this. That's kind of a weird moment, but it works. Yeah, because the harmony underneath that. Da, yeah, D7. Good chord. Yeah, and that's cool. Nice tritone. A little bit of suspense, whimsy, sorrowful sound. Yeah, and it ends in a 6th. That harmony there is a 6th. Yeah, that's what's going on with the melody line there. That's technically the A section of the song. So this next part here is the B section. So the B section starts like this. It starts on the 4 chord, low chromatic rise, and then we go to the 1 chord, big arpeggio like that. And then something changes here. This is the only new chord being introduced. It's a minor 6. E minor in this case. And then we have this suspension kind of on the 5 chord, and then the bass comes in and we put that together, and then we're back into the another E flat, and there you go. You put it all together, it sounds great. So it really is kind of like a timeless sort of melody. It's both of its era and very timeless at the same time. It feels like it's kind of merging those two. So yeah. That's great. And so in my video, what I tried to do is I tried to show that even the music for Fabuland feels like music for Animal Crossing. Like, it really does feel like they kind of belong together. Here I am, I'm talking about an Animal Crossing set. But the music for Fabuland, even that, not just the set was this very similar, very similar themes and concepts and design decisions, but also the music, just like the sound of what an animal city kind of sounds like has been like established for decades now. So it's pretty cool to see. Anyways, that's Fabuland, or recreating Fabuland. This is obviously very different stuff stuff than what we're used to, but that's what slugging around is for. You never know what you're gonna get. I had a lot of fun making this, and if you had fun watching it, let me know. I would love to talk about music again in the future, either talking about some of my own compositions or other songs that I've recreated for the channel. Just let me know. Yeah, until then, I'll see you around.